What's up, you guys? My name is QueenBeluchi, and today's video is going to be about how to trust yourself, how to trust your internal guidance system enough to really live your life on your own terms without the fears and external energy and annoyances of the world. Trusting oneself and trust in others are essential to our sense of wholeness and for accessing our fullest potential for wisdom, strength, vulnerability, and love. Trusting yourself includes developing an intimate knowledge of your inner landscape and belief in abilities to make it through dark times. I've recently been making a lot of changes. I recently just moved into my new apartment, a new city, a new job, just really been adjusting to that. And I've been really struggling and trying to understand what my next steps are. If you've heard my journey a little bit before, I've talked about making the decision to move from being in the healthcare industry into the tech industry. It can be very stressful trying to make any kind of decision, moving, finances, just really adulting on my own for the first time. I'll say for myself, I was just thinking of like what society tells you to do and what all the messages you've been hearing since you were young. I've just gotten to a point where despite all of this, despite the fears, and I always talk about a fear of trying because sometimes, and most of the time, I do have that fear. I used to think it was a fear of success. But I've learned that I do have a sense of inner trust, inner peace, inner intuition, and just a knowing. There's a oneness with my divine plan. When you're in tune with your inner self and your inner being, it makes life a lot less scary. It just helps you stop the limiting beliefs from taking in the limiting beliefs from society when you just have this oneness with self and trust in yourself. And basically in this video, I just want to share with you some ways how you can build a healthy, trustful relationship with yourself. First thing that I think that we should touch on as we talk about this topic is recognizing that there are so many people's opinions and perspectives on this topic. It can get so confusing when you're actually trying to think about yourself, when you're taking in perspective. Quit your 9-to-5, go be an entrepreneur, go do this, go make millions. It's like, you just like, this adulting experience is so hard based off opinion. You have the social media opinion, you have traditional opinions. I got the Nigerian parents and community opinions. At some point, you just have to turn inwards. And oftentimes you can see yourself creating codependent relationships with people and their opinions and their wants out of life, both consciously and subconsciously, that we honestly don't know how to make decisions for ourselves, or even have learned the ability to. We may end up consulting other people online, and we may watch like 1,000,001 YouTube videos, read articles, just trying to find all these opinion and situational based advice that really wouldn't apply to our lives. But because we don't trust ourselves, we think that outside sources may have a better opinion or wisdom or perspective on our own personal life. And honestly, sometimes it is good to get an external, opinion or a third look into the situation. But in the end, it will cause anxiety and stress in your own life because everyone's perspective is so different and so nuanced, whether they grew up in a different generation at a different time, had different resources. I always talk about resources, but have different resources and outlook on life. I feel like God has a higher calling for us. He wants the best for us, best and utmost version of you. And to tap into my higher self, I had to develop a trust. I had to develop a listening to my intuition because my intuition never went anywhere. It was just the fact that I wasn't listening to it. Because my intuition has been there, it's really my limiting beliefs that were embedded in my subconscious. That's like the tip of the iceberg is my consciousness and what I'm fully aware of. And then the lower half is like, why am I even acting like this? Why can't I trust myself? Really questioning, having those questions run through my head as I'm going through my adulting journey. I don't think we take in how influential people have been and are in our lives. Half the time, most of the voices in my head is my mama's voice, is my siblings, my friends, or like something I heard on TV when I was 10 years old, and that's how I thought life was. And then we basically start repeating those opinions back to ourselves and manifesting the thoughts and the creations and the ideas that other people have put into your life. As you're going through life and making decisions day to day, it's very important that you're not internalizing the negative core beliefs of those around you on TV, online, and really honing into your inner thoughts, inner intuition. And when you're making decisions for your life, it's very important that you are first consulting with yourself and that you really dissect where your self-doubt is coming from. Is it coming from yourself, or is it coming from external factors? And you're just really consulting other people as an extra source, not as the first source. And that's why I would say my second topic is setting proper boundaries with social media, with your relationships, and with all of these external perspectives. You have friends, you have coworkers, you have family, you have all of these people that are just gonna naturally influence the way that you think. Instead of isolating yourself and basically saying like, I'm no more social media, no more this, no more consulting people about my problems, like I'm gonna keep it to myself, I'm gonna figure it out. It's not gonna work. Like, moving and being on my own, it is very important to continue to keep your community and continue to grow, because people showing their trust in you makes you honestly trust yourself more. And when you do seek other people's opinions or outside opinions or hear it, you have to be more self-aware of how you're receiving the information that they're giving you, as well as if they are projecting any past hurts or traumas or advice that they would give themselves onto you. And that you really speak with your external community and support system to really give you advice based off of your experiences, based off of how you view the world. I had to really list out my boundaries with taking in advice and how to like properly communicate that with my support system. When I was talking to my therapist, she was basically saying and encouraging me, which I encourage you, to basically just like list out, ways in particular with people in your life that you go to often to seek advice, and really showing to yourself, okay, these are the boundaries and the parameters in which I want to go about having conversations. Whether it's someone you want to use, your accountability partner will be a little bit different than how you talk to your mom, and how you talk to your partner, and how you talk to your friends, how you talk to your coworkers. A lot of the decisions I've made as an adult, because my therapist was like, girl, you need to know you only been an adult for so long, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to be where you think you should be, where society tells you should be. You should have a house, you should do this, you should do that, buy a new car. Just know you just started in this journey, and that you're going to go through steps to trust yourself and to learn yourself better. And I had to learn, maybe I have to sit with myself, because my sister is my literal best friend, and I go to her about anything. I could talk to her about everything. I just had to learn, maybe I need to sit with myself with this decision on my own. Just take that time before I hit her up, or like before anything happens. Let me, work through the emotions on my own. Sitting with that uncertainty, sitting with that confusion, you may find that eventually all of that will pass. And you're gonna be like, okay. It's a bit stressful having to make decisions that will, all the repercussions fall back on you, but you'll begin to trust yourself listening to your own needs. When you acknowledge the trust issues that you have, when you're sitting through your meditation, when you're talking to yourself, when you're becoming self-aware of your over dependence on your external counsel, you learn that it's safe to take emotional risk. You allow yourself time to be a little bit broken. You become your own comforter, and you create a harmonious connection, continuous connection between your daily life and your internal world. Path that you are looking for, the next step that you're trying to take, it's honestly within you. And you create a habitual inner knowledge within yourself that supersedes other people's perspectives, and you can become more content and comforted from within. The greatest love is when you can find home in yourself, and you can live anywhere on this planet and you'll still return to home. Best knowledge that I've gotten has been from my own experience. It's been from my own healing. It's been from my own meditation. It's been from showing up for myself. It's the acknowledgement of me being overly dependent on my support system sometimes, instead of just trusting myself in this adulting journey. You are your biggest source of learning, of experiences. You are your wealth of knowledge. God exists within you. Like, I know God is within me. My wealth of knowledge, my intuition is very powerful because of that. You are your inner guide. You are the best determiner of if you should go or if you should stay. Very important to continue to work through trusting yourself, meditating, healing, going through the right channels and processes so that you can look inward and find that self-love, that self-acceptance, that self-actualization. Hopefully this inspired you guys to go on a journey of setting boundaries, really looking into how you do self-sabotage your own trust, how you can trust yourself on your adulting journey, like I am learning to do. Comment down below what areas of your life that you find yourself struggling or not showing up for yourself, or how your adulting journey is honestly going. I'm really curious to know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos like this will be coming soon.